Hi everyone. Thank you for joining
Hi.
us. Thank you. It is I can't get used to it. We've done so many of these Zoom panels this year
Mhm.
and it still feels weird not being there in person. I uh I
Yeah.
I, I don't know what it's like for everyone watching in, but it is definitely weird for us here. We
Mhm.
miss the energy. We miss all those beautiful faces in the room and the energy and the
Mhm.
feedback and um it's definitely different, but we're here and we appreciate you joining us. Quick introductions. I am Kay Winters. I do the marketing here at TOKYOPOP. I usually manage these events when we have them. If you've ever emailed us on our website, then you've probably spoken to me. So that's what I do.
My name is Lena, and I'm one of the editors here at TOKYOPOP. I'm manage most of these love titles that you're about to hear. And
Lastly, I am Janae. I am another editor at TOKYOPOP. We're very excited about these new line of titles. So, yeah.
Awesome. So
Mhm.
let's go ahead and get started here. First off, what is Love Love? So we started Love Love in goodness, what was it? April? I think we launched it this year.
Yeah.
It basically we launched it perfectly to time it with everything nosediving and crashing and the world ending, which was cool. But the whole concept of Love Love is to bring all types of romance manga under one umbrella. We noticed there was a lot of sort of shoujo and heterosexual romances, and then sort of everything else was sidelined off. You had your boys' love section, you had your girls' love section, and we were like, you know what? Let's bring all of it together and just celebrate romance in one big category. And celebrate all types of romance. Because let's face it, all three of us here, we all have very different like flavors of romance, like the different
Mhm.
styles that we prefer to read, right? So that's, I
Yeah.
mean, right here we're
Mhm.
we're three quarter parts of our audience.
Very true.
Yeah. So because we've brought all of these types of romance together, what we want to do today is introduce you to a few that we have out already, a few books that we have out that you can go and purchase right now, which obviously we highly recommend you do. And then we're going to introduce you to a few titles that we have coming out soon. So, without further ado, goodness me. Uh, that was a loud truck. Um, DEKOBOKO Sugar Days. Lena, would you like to talk about this one a little bit?
absolutely. So DEKOBOKO Sugar Days was one of our first boys love titles, and it's definitely our most popular boys love titles. It's one of our best sellers. We've gotten some amazing feedback from fans, so thank you so much if you've already read it and if you've already written to us. If you haven't read it yet, then what I can tell you about this title is that it is absolutely adorable. It's so sweet and fun. The art style is just absolutely gorgeous. It's basically about this grumpy short guy who has a crush on his very tall, very fluffy, sweet and cheerful friend. And it's kind of them sort of having crushes on each other, like a little will they, won't they, fun friendship. And also that very cute height difference is a big draw for this one. I like that a lot. But yeah, this title is just super sweet and fun, and we really recommend it. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, I love the trope of the short cranky one is hot for the big soft fluffy one. That's a great trope,
Yep.
and it works out so well in this one. It's a really adorable book. It's one volume as well, which is really nice. You get the full
Mhm.
story in one, and the creator Atsuko Yusen, we're actually going to be publishing another of her titles that we'll talk about a little bit later. So if you like this one, stay tuned. Okay. Um, KOIMONOGATARE. So this is going to be a 3-volume series. Volume 2 should be available now. Um, this is a bit of a different take on a boys' love series. It's very serious. It's a slow burn. It deals with the difficulties of coming out and of being friends to somebody who's trying to come out, of how to support them, of how to deal with your own learned internalized homophobia. It actually deals with several different romances through it, which is why it's love stories. You have sort of like your protagonists, but it deals with a lot of different relationships through it. It's a really beautiful story if you're looking for just really deep emotional connections between characters. And this is a true LGBT story. Um, this really does feel like a like journeys that our career staff members have been on and experiences that we've had. So I highly recommend this for someone who's looking for something a little bit deeper in their boys' love. Don't Call Me Dirty. This is this is where my heart is. There's two titles. There's Don't Call Me Dirty, and then we're gonna follow on with Don't Call Me Daddy. These two are near and dear to my heart. Um, Don't Call Me Dirty deals with the blonde character here, Shoji, he's gay, he's out. His town knows it. They're all very accepting. His father knows it. And he has a habit of picking really bad partners, really bad boyfriends that are just not good to him. And he's going through a messy breakup, and he develops a crush on Hama, this local homeless guy. And this is about the two of them forming a connection and coming together over different circumstances, but finding that connection despite being so different. And there's a beautiful line in the middle where Shoji hugs Hama, and Hama says, don't hold me, you'll get dirty." And Shoji says, "Don't call me dirty. I hear that from everyone. I don't want to hear it from you either." So it's this concept of both of them being seen as dirty by society in their own way, and finding some kind of solace and unity together and coming out as better people. And it's lovely, it's heartwarming, it's sweet. Um, and I was really excited to get to work on the translation for this one a little bit. So it's near and dear to my heart. And then at the end of Don't Call Me Dirty, there's a little hint. There's a scene between Shoji's father and another older man who used to live in the neighborhood who moved away, suggesting that they had some kind of history. And Don't Call Me Daddy is like a spiritual prequel to Don't Call Me Dirty that deals with what it is like when you remain closeted for almost your entire life, what that is like pretending you are not gay when you are, what that does for your relationships, what that does for you as a person. It is a great story because it actually has an older relationship. That's some feedback that we got from fans, was that they were really excited to see two characters in what are they? About their 50s, would you say?
Probably, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say probably in their 50s. And it's just a wonderful new take on boys love, something a little bit different that you don't see every day. And I highly recommend them. They're not a pair. You can read either of them individually, but I think if you like one, you're definitely going to like the other. So keep an eye out for those. There are things I can't tell you. This is one of our more mature titles. Lena, did you want to talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one's going to be a little bit more on the angsty side. And these are also two adult characters who, after have moved on with their lives and gotten jobs out in the world, and both of them kind of have feelings for the other one, and they don't really know how to deal with them or how to tell each other, as the title is pretty self-explanatory, I suppose, but it just kind of goes into their feelings, and a little bit also, as we talked in some previous titles, it does touch on some internalized homophobia as well, and the expectations of society, and just a lot of things that I feel are relatable, especially to people who are moving from one phase of their life to another, and they're trying to understand themselves. This is a really beautiful story, just a really poignant relationship. And there are a couple of spicy scenes in this one too.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lena and I were having this conversation just before we got to filming this here about what romance we tend to read, what kind of boys love we tend to read, and I'm all about the angsty titles. I know the will they, won't they. It's in almost every boys love. You get the oh my gosh, just tell them already. But I really love that angsty, give me some hurt comfort in there. Make it, make it
Yeah,
sad, make my heart hurt while I'm reading it. And this
it's an
this one
emotional one.
this one made me cry. This one actually made me cry. So if you're into that emotional angsty stuff, this is definitely the title for you. And then we have Replay, which is a little more unusual because it's a sports boys love, which is uh you don't see that very often. You get your boys love, and you get your sports manga, and this one seems to combine the two.
It's
And
a
this
great
one is
combination.
it is. It works really, really well. It deals with baseball. This is two kids that went to high school together. They were on the same baseball team, right?
Mm. They're on the same baseball team, and then one of them ends up having to quit the baseball team because they're studying to get into college, and there's a little bit of fallout there. Because they are teammates, but once again, are they teammates or are they something more? You kind of have to, like, they don't really know toward one another at the beginning, but well, it's a boys' love, so I guess you can see where this is going. But yeah, this one is also just emotional, poignant. It's another coming of age story since they're both about to graduate. And the art style for this one is really lovely. I had a lot of fun reading this when I was working on it just because the art style is it's so detailed, but also just so soft and romantic. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah. And there's something really nice about that storyline of, well, we have this thing in common. We've always had this hobby that we've
Hmm.
shared, and now we don't have it. Are we still going to have that connection with one another?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deals a lot with that.
Yeah. So Still Sick. This is our first girls love title that we're going to be talking about today. And this has been really popular with a lot of our fans and with us in the office as well, right, Lena?
Mhm. For sure. This is definitely a really great and really relatable title. It's going to be 3 volumes total. It's the debut work by the author Akashi, and it's about these two working women. They work in an office together, and in the office, they're, prim and proper, doing their office jobs, and they find out accidentally that each of them has basically the same hobby. They meet up in a doujinshi convention, a comic cat basically, where people sell their own manga, and they realize, oh no, we are both super nerdy and have the same hobby. And from there, they just kind of hit it off and have a very interesting, complicated office relationship where they're kind of trying to hide this hobby from their coworkers, but also work on it together. And their relationship develops from there. It's very relatable
Hmm.
and very very interesting, especially for a manga fan. I think it's fun to see kind of what goes into the development of a manga. It's a little bit meta that way too.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful lesbian romance, but also a glimpse into the world of manga. And the art is
Hmm.
just so pretty and soft, and it's so lovely to read. It's really wonderful. It's going to be the third volume is going to be coming out in January. It is available for pre-order now. I should mention that a lot of these books that are kind of coming out very, very soon, they will be available for pre-order probably now, and if not now, very, very soon. If you're not sure, check out our website, tokyopop.com/upcoming. We'll give you all the latest release information for the titles that we have coming out. And that's the best way to know specifically when these titles are coming out, because COVID has done some very interesting things to schedules and everything from the production end through to printing through to distribution. So staying in touch with us directly is probably the best way to know for sure. And if you're not sure, feel free to send us a message through our website, and we will get back and let you know. Breath of Flowers. This is lovely. This is actually in our International Women of Manga line as well, which highlights female creators from around the world making their own manga. And this one is actually from France. It's got that really soft, pretty bande dessinée quality to the artwork, and it's a lovely 2 volume look into gender dysphoria, into coming to terms with homosexuality, coming to terms with your own internalized homophobia. And of course, because it's in high school, you get all of that fun high school drama that comes with any relationship. Um, and the two main characters, Azami, the girl with the black hair, is convinced that she is straight. She's very straight. That's all there is to it. Doesn't understand why her friends read boys' love titles all the time. She has a huge crush on Gwyn, who is a boy on the basketball team. And then one day she catches Gwyn changing in the gym and realizes that Gwyn is actually a girl and has to come to terms with, oh, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for Gwyn? And there's a beautiful line at the end of the first chapter. I love it so much, where she says, well, if you can't be my prince, will you be my princess? And I love that so much. Long story short, this is basically about Gwyn having gone undercover as a boy to join the basketball team for so long that now that she's hitting puberty and it's getting harder to hide, she needs to figure out, does she want to continue um, presenting as a boy, or does she want to present as a girl? And I'm using female pronouns because Gwyn does decide to go back to presenting as a girl. But it's a very interesting take on gender dysphoria, how you feel about yourself, how you present yourself, what that means for others, what that means for you, what that means for your relationships. And it's just a really beautiful, very different LGBT title. So I highly recommend checking this one out, especially if you're looking for something just a little bit different. Uh, Now we're on to our shoujo titles here. No vampire, no happy ending. If you're a vampire fan, I guarantee you have not read a manga quite like this one. This is a totally unique comedy. Arika, the redheaded girl here, is a huge nerd for vampires. She loves vampires, and she has a ridiculous series. I forget how many volumes it is, but she has a fan fiction that she has been writing and stuffing away in her room that she thinks is hidden, but her whole family knows about it and they've all read it. She comes across Devo here, a vampire, who is possibly the worst vampire in the world. I think you can actually see him chewing on a bulb of garlic in one of those panels there. He doesn't know he's not supposed to be able to eat garlic. So he clearly needs a few lessons from Marika in how to be a good vampire. And in exchange, she says, okay, fine, I'll make you my vampire bride. And Arika's dream of uniting humanity and vampires together in peace is on the horizon. And it's hilarious. It's stupid. I laughed so hard when I first read it. I actually read this last year at New York Comic Con at our booth. I sat there with this manga in Japanese, reading it behind the booth to decide whether or not we were going to license it. And I got to the end and I immediately messaged Lena and said, this is amazing. This is so good. So definitely check this one out if you're looking for some romance that's also a laugh out loud comedy. And this is another debut artist, right, Lena?
It is, yes. This is Shinya's first work. And the art style for this is just super unique. The character designs are so detailed. Like the artist puts a lot of work into this series and it really shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I also love, especially, you can see in these images that Devo has this cool little like cowlick across the front. That is actually a plot device. That is not just a cool hairstyle. That is a plot device. Yeah, this is a great one. Definitely check it out. It's gonna be 2 volumes total. Very, very worth it. Scarlet Soul. This one's so beautiful. This is one of your favorites, right, Janae?
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This one is very fantasy inspired by ancient culture, something similar to the way Yone of the Dawn was presented. So this one is about a high priestess who suddenly vanishes out of nowhere. And then her younger sister sort of takes up her sword and to try to find her. So you've got all that adventure, all that magic, and you've got the cute guy who she's kind of not supposed to be with. But, this is very fun, very adventurous, very I don't know, emotional. I like the series. I think you'll really, really enjoy it if you like that really fun fantasy concept.
Yeah,
Another
forbidden
one with
love.
amazing character designs too.
Yes. And this
Oh
is an
yeah.
international, yes, and this is an International Women of Manga title too.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yes,
It's got a little bit of everything going for it. The art really is just absolutely stunning, so detailed. Yona of the
stunning.
Dawn is such a good comparison for it, and it's got that forbidden romance element. It's got high
Yes.
fantasy, a very Japanese style high fantasy. It's absolutely beautiful. 4 volumes total. We're working on volume 3 right now. So definitely check this one out. This is an absolutely beautiful series. And another International Women of Manga title, we have Deep Scar. This is another one that's right down your alley, right, Janae?
Yes, it is. This feels like one of those shoujo manga that just everything feels absolutely relatable. This is sort of a modern, exciting college romance. Sort of has that air of like mystery and drama, and it's all about the lead character Sophia's sort of journey for self-discovery, sort of learning how to make your own choices, especially after coming from a sheltered life to being in college where you're surrounded by so many different kinds of people, and even people that you are attracted to and shouldn't be attracted to. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't be. Who knows? Sophie is very much gonna figure that out within the series. This one is 4 volumes, and I believe we're working on the 3rd one, or we will be very soon. So yeah, very exciting, very immaculately drawn. This is another International Women of Manga title too.
Yeah, and it reminds me very much of a lot of the retro shoujo like Nana from right around that era. So if you're a fan of that kind of thing, you're definitely going to be a fan of the art style here. So we're going to very briefly go over some titles that we have coming soon, starting with The Anatomist. Again, another International Women of Manga title that we're bringing over from our German sister company. And this one we're actually taking a little bit of a harder turn with this. This is definitely a mature title. And Lena, did you want to talk a little bit about this one? I know you're working on this project right now.
Sure. This one is going to be a digital only boys love, and it's by a German author, Essa Parr, who it's her debut title as well. This one is actually heavily inspired by Renaissance culture, so like the set in Venice during the 1500s. The author is very into history and historical fashion and just learning about what people were up to at the time, like what kind of discoveries are being made in the Renaissance. So the title, The Anatomist, comes from that because part of this book does deal with one of the characters is an anatomist in the Renaissance when people were starting to learn how musculature works and like how human bodies work. So just as a heads up, there is a little bit of gore in this one because there's that sort of trying to understand the human body, and the only way to do that back then when they didn't have x-rays was to just kind of get in there. So there is definitely going to be some content warnings on this one, but it's a very interesting and unique story, really well researched as well. I know that the author has definitely taken a lot of inspiration and put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely with this one, it's a great story. It's definitely worth checking out, but please do take a look at the content warnings. There's gonna be some stuff in there that's maybe a little dark for a casual reader. But I do highly recommend checking it out. If you read it and you think, yes, this is absolutely down my alley, please check it out. It's phenomenal. The artwork is gorgeous. And hopefully you will love it too. Um, so The God and the Flightless Messenger, another boys love title that we have coming out fairly soon. Incredibly light and fluffy, very soft, very pretty. Just a really
Totally on the
sweet,
opposite end of the spectrum from the
complete
previous
opposite.
one.
That's total whiplash there. I didn't plan that when I made this presentation, I promise. But yeah, this is absolutely lovely. This is about a messenger. All the messengers to the gods typically have these beautiful big wings, and unfortunately, this one does not. He has tiny little itty bitty wings. But it's a beautiful romance. It's really soft and fluffy, beautiful fantasy. 1 volume, just really precious. Um, BL fans love my brother. I feel like we need to really emphasize this one when we read it out. This is a great this is okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't really boys love. This is boys love adjacent. But we really feel like boys love fans are going to get a serious kick out of this title. I thought it was hilarious. The main character here on the front cover there is he goes by the name Amaterasu in doujinshi circles. He is a very well known boys love artist. He does bara, like the big muscly dudes. He's extremely well known for it. He's loved, but he's a shut-in. He doesn't leave the house. And so he bribes his sister to go in his place to sell his comics at Comiket. At which point she realizes how popular this stuff is and what a big deal he is within these circles. And it's just a wonderful look at their relationship coming together, at, him slowly learning to leave the house and, take things on for himself. But her also realizing that this little dinky hobby that she'd been brushing aside as just some little whim actually turned out to be a pretty big deal for him. So it's a lovely series. You will definitely probably relate to a lot of the actions at the conventions and a lot of the family dynamics if you're a boys love fan, so it's definitely worth checking it out. This wonderful season with you. So this is Atsuko Yusen's other title that we're licensing. She did the DEKOBOKO Sugar Days title that we talked about at the beginning. And this is another, I'm starting to realize maybe there's a thing that she has for height difference, because I'm noticing we've got the same height difference dynamic going on.
It's very cute.
It's extremely cute. This is very jock and nerd. This is a jock and nerd romance, basically. And there's a panel in it that I love. I didn't include it here, but it's my favorite thing in the world, where the jock character takes off the glasses from the nerd character. And of course, he's got that, oh, he's actually really beautiful and attractive underneath the thick Coke bottle glasses that he's wearing. And the jock's thought bubble is just like, what is this, a manga panel? Like, it's just so ridiculous and so funny. And it's just a really precious story about not judging people by their cover. You don't know the personality they have. You don't know who they could be underneath. Maybe it looks like you've got nothing in common, but maybe if you sit down and talk for a little bit, you'll find out you've got a deeper connection. Um, and it's a really, really lovely, sweet story. And so if you like DEKOBOKO Sugar Days, absolutely keep an eye out for this wonderful season with you. We're going to be rushing through a little bit here because we're running out of time. But Alter Ego, another girls' love title. Lena, did you want to talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, this is Girls Love from a Spanish author, Ana Sanchez. And this one's going to be a little bit of a girls' love triangle. So look forward to that. We're working on it now. That one will be coming out around Valentine's Day next year.
Lovely. The cat proposed. I'm really looking forward to this one. Hands up if you like cats and you like boys love. There we go. So this is a fantastic story. You've essentially got an exhausted office worker who accidentally runs into a bakeneko, a transformed cat, a human cat transformed character, who says, "Oh, this is great. I'm gonna make you my husband now. That's it. Bye." And it develops from there, and it's just such a very sweet story, with one character taking care of the other and nurturing them, and exploring this whole other fantasy world full of other bakeneko. There's a lot of fun jokes about cattails poofing out and like ears flattening and silly
Yeah,
things
if
like
you
that.
love boys with cat ears, this is the one for you.
Oh yeah, this is definitely your something something. So keep an eye out for this one. I think it's adorable. Yeah, coming out very soon from us. And KATAKOI Lamp. This one is just so unbelievably sweet. Set in a cafe, with falling in love with a regular and trying to figure out how to woo him, but also not sure if he's gay. Maybe he's straight. He seems like he might have a crush on your female coworker, and it's just, this is a manga for people who love like those beautiful elaborate drawings of like parfaits and sweets and cafe
Mhm.
culture. I mean, let's face it, every IP that exists out there has fan fiction where it's anyway, they also run a cafe. And this is like that, but from the beginning. You don't even have to make that AU. It just already exists. They already run a cafe. Um it's incredibly cute. It's incredibly sweet and fluffy. And yeah, if you're looking for another really nice, sweet, soft boys love, again, one volume. And it's just absolutely perfect for a nice, gentle romance. And we did it. We managed to get all of the titles in. I'm so proud of us.
We did it.
Yay!
And there's the alarm.
Yay. So
Well,
there it is. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. We're so sorry we can't be there in the flesh and see all your beautiful faces.
we miss you.
We miss you all. We really do. This is killing us. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Let's hope 2021 maybe. Oh.
Yeah.
In the meantime, please check out lovexlove.info for more information about our romance line, or just check out tokyopop.com for all info about our new releases, about events that we have coming up when we're still allowed to do events. You can send us messages if you have any questions. And of course, we love, love, love title suggestions. If there's a romance title out there that you love that has not been licensed, please send us a message and let us know. We will definitely look into it for you, because we want to keep publishing the things that you want to read. So thank you again. Thank you for joining us. Please stay safe and healthy and happy. And we will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.